Hello everyone, the closed network test for Tekken 8 is about to end, but before it does, I want to make a video about heat. It's like the major new mechanic in this game, and it's kind of difficult to understand because it's very big and it does many different things for many different characters, but they've also changed heat since they first unveiled it, so I think a lot of people have like conflicting information about what it does and how it actually works. Right now. So I want to lay it out for you because like a lot of people didn't get to play the network test, right? The thing with heat is like it feels confusing in the beginning, but if you play the game for like 2 days or so, it becomes intuitive. I can kind of feel now when I'm comboing, do I still have access to heat? Should I use it? You know, how do I want to combo if I decide to use heat here and so on? So it's like daunting at first, but then it starts making a lot of sense. And I think it's a cool and excellent system because it really does diversify the cast in a big way, which I think is great. But let's just break down heat and how it actually works and how I think it's going to be used. So you can tell that both me and my opponent, I'm controlling Lars here right now, have this blue bar underneath our health. That means that we have access to heat and we have not yet used it in this round. You get access to one of these blue bars per round. So once you've like activated heat, you can't activate it again until next round. Once heat is activated, this meter starts decreasing, as you can tell right here. And then you can do a bunch of different new things while this heat is up. Your empowered moves that you use while in heat will usually spend a chunk of the heat and decrease the meter instantly. So for example, if I'm in heat right here and I use this cool move for Lars called Rebellion, you can tell that it goes ka-ching and it subtracts a bunch of heat right away, you know? It's like I have to pay the tax, right? But you can also spend all of your heat instantly in one of two ways. The first way you can do it is by performing a heat smash, which is like your climactic high damage heat finisher. It looks like this for Lars. It has a generic input for all characters, which is 2+3. It's kind of the heat input. You activate heat generic with 2+3, then you do your heat smash with 2+3, and it takes all of your heat. So, you know, this is big damage. You can set it up in clever ways with some characters, or you can use it for like a high damage combo ender, you know, if you want to do that. That's gonna make sense for a lot of characters. I think for the most part, when you're utilizing heat combos though, you're gonna spend it on the other way of spending all of your heat at once, which is a heat dash. But before I explain the heat dash, I want to explain the two ways you can activate or enter heat in. The first is generic activation, so this is the 2+3. It looks like this. It's like the same for all characters. And it reminds me a lot of when you activated the equivalent of heat in Soul Calibur. You kind of force the situation with this move, and it's very safe as long as it doesn't like whiff. If it gets blocked or gets a hit, you will like be in heat now. You can start doing your heat stuff. Your opponent can still hit you on the way in here, but as long as like this animation starts, heat will be activated. So for example, what I've seen happen is I will do this generic activation, my opponent starts hitting and comboing me on the way in, and I eat a full combo, but when I stand back up, I'm still in heat because I did successfully activate it, even though I took a fat Ellen and ate a combo when I was trying to do it, right? So it's kind of safe, but you still have to be careful. And you can enter it that way. The other way you can activate heat is with a heat engager, and so every character has like a bunch, like 5 moves that are heat engagers. What they do is when they hit, they activate heat automatically, and then you will run in like this. This is not a heat dash, by the way. What Lars does right here, it's just what happens after a heat engager hits and activates the heat state. And some of these moves are really good, like this move for example, you know? You go in, you do a bunch of damage, now you're in heat, and you can do your powerful heat stuff and deal a bunch of damage, right? If you hit with a heat engaging move, this is what I think like a lot of people might not know or understand. If you hit with a heat engaging move like this 3+4, while you are already in heat, either nothing happens or you tap forward and you perform a heat dash. And the heat dash takes the rest of your heat away. So to perform a heat dash, you do a heat engaging move while you're already in heat and you tap forward. And that's what allows you to add another soft reset to your combos, creating really long combos. So for example, with Lars, you could do stuff like we can actually do more, I think. Interrupting my combos with the online matches here, but that's okay. Okay, so I had too many hits for that ender to work, but you have different enders, you know. Let's try one more and try and get the whole thing. Didn't work either, but you can get like a silent one there for massive damage. But this is how heat is used in this game for the most part currently, probably because people like to party a lot with like big stuff and win fast rounds right now. They will like launch, activate universal heat, use a heat engaging move to perform a heat dash, then spin and then do like a big combo. And you can do this in any order you like. If you do the heat dash like early in the combo, you can still spin late in the combo. So for example, you can do this, launch, like do your heat dash. Then I can do a spin move here, and you can see it's still going to spin the opponent character. So combos are kind of blown wide open because of this system, and you can like snap together these Lego blocks and construct them in different ways. So heat adds a lot of combo complexity, which I think is really cool. Now, how important heat is for your character and how you're gonna like use it is gonna depend on what they've given your specific character. With Lars, you get access to Rebellion, which is like an amazing move that allows you to force a silent mix-up, but it also gives you an empowered version of your new stance, which is limited entry. So this like limited entry low right here becomes like, you have to be on the front, I think. Becomes like a bird move and does bonus damage, right? So go into your move list and look at the moves that become super powerful, and you'll know like, oh, this is what I want to do when I'm eating with my character. But that's like a basic preview of how it works. You can activate it with universal activation, which a lot of people do in combos because it has massive range and it's easy to use for a soft reset. Or you can hit with a heat engager. If you hit with a heat engager when you're already in heat and tap forward, that allows you to heat dash. But you don't have to do that. You have the option of staying out by not tapping forward, which is cool. And then you can spend all of your heat on individual small heat gimmicks, one big heat smash, or one big heat dash. While you're in heat, you do deal like a bunch of chip damage. Normally only specific moves deal chip damage, but when you're in heat, it's like all of it. And it means that some characters that are good at like forcing the opponent to block, like Hua Rong, might use their heat to actually just force a bunch of chip damage. Now, one thing you'll notice, and it's like the final thing I want to explain about this, as I combo Kazuya right here, you can see that his health bar is kind of decreasing in two different stages. He's losing health, and then there's like a white recoverable gauge right there. And a really cool thing about heat engagers is that if you have a bunch of white recoverable health on your bar and you hit with a heat engager, it heals all of it. Like you heal by attacking, but if you use a heat engager, you heal all your white health, which means that I've taken like a massive combo against like a Hua Rong. I've lost more than like 70% of my life bar. But then I just jump up and I hit with one of these and I get like more than half of that health back. The massive heal, so it's like important, right? And you want to be aware of chip damage and recoverable health when you strategize with heat. So you can see how it ties into how you combo, how you pressure, like how you heal and how you wall combo and all the rest of it. And it also like ties in deeply to what your character plays like. So it is a very large and diverse system, but these are like the universal ways in which heat works. I hope it makes more sense for you now, the system. Like I said, it feels really daunting in the beginning, but you'll be doing like these crazy heat dash combos in no time. Don't worry. It just takes a couple of days being in the system, and there you go. So yeah, that's Heat. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys again very soon.